fun here, excuse me, with audio because, hey, look, it's been 16 years of really difficult times for the Sacramento Kings. Right now, I would say on the optimism meter, I think more people are optimistic than not, but those that aren't, I think are also have, Jay, don't you think I've been down this road before. I think that's more of the fear of not wanting to get all the way in and be let down because people, and I know it sounds silly now, but maybe you believed in the Willie Cauley-Stein, Ben McLemore run or whatever it might be. But
Throwing shade at me.
Well, but people did. And I
did.
understand, Jason Thompson and Spencer Hawes, that front court of the future.
I didn't believe in that one.
Okay, but it didn't work. Or DeMarcus and Tyreek, this team is going to be the team of the decade. Rudy Gay, DeMarcus, and Isaiah, three 20-point scores. Starts and stops, or this coach. Hey, we got George Karl. They're definitely going to win. And people have been down that road and maybe been led into excitement. But I would say, again, the terms that people were using in Vegas when I was there last week, Jay, about the Kings was, I like what they're doing. Sensible moves. These moves are logical of what they're doing. Hey, the results so far look good. Again, so far it's Summer League and some of the other things haven't even lined up and materialized in a regular season game. But it is nice to hear that people think the Kings are doing this in a proper way for whatever that's worth.
And, Jason, you're connected with a lot of those guys that you're speaking of, national writers down there in Vegas. Would you say that crowd is normally the crowd like, what the hell are the Kings doing?
That or they'll just label like, yeah, hey, look, I like what they did, or I like this pick or this free agent signing, but it's still the Kings.
Right.
And but instead it's been a little bit of a change of belief, I think, based on the track record of Monty McNair so far. I think more people have been impressed with it. Again, logic, sense. I don't think they've seen any drastic swings and misses. Now, it hasn't netted in a 45-win season in the playoffs. So, they could keep doing this for 3 more years, Jay, and everyone going, hey, good draft pick, good free agent signing, good coaching hire. Doesn't matter if you win 25 to 30 games. You got to start winning 40 and more.
Right. They say the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding in the NBA is the win-loss column. And you can keep I remember, I believe it was 2017. Is that the De'Aaron Fox draft? Yeah, 2017.
Yeah. Yep.
The Kings, remember that draft where it's De'Aaron, it's Justin Jackson, it's Frank
Harry
Mason,
Giles.
It's Harry Giles, everyone across the board. Man, the Kings just had the best draft. They're killing it. They're making great moves. They're making smart picks. That was 5 years ago, Jason. They still haven't made the playoffs. Nobody cares.
Right. Exactly. Got to get results. Now, if they had been making it and you have a misstep here 1 or 2 years, okay, get back on it. But it's been 16 consecutive. And the other part, Jay, is the reality is they haven't been that close. Like, I think the last 2 years, they're still in the race in March. But when we get to 10 games to go, they're out.
Right.
And with 10 teams really making it, that's difficult to do. I mean, the whole league's been in, but them, and it's beyond frustrating. I'm repeating stuff that everybody knows, but you gotta start showing major progress.
Yeah, and there's one prominent national writer that thinks they have.
Yeah, and that's our own Marc Spears, who he's friend of the show, friend of the station. Let's hear what Marc Spears had to say yesterday on NBA Today.
Keegan Murray, because he's going to be on a playoff team.
Ooh.
The Kings are going to end the streak.
All right.
Have the best record of all them rookies. So Keegan Murray is going to be your rookie of the year because of that record.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a proclamation if I've heard one this offseason.
And that's a take. And I would go on one part. I would disagree with Marc Spears. I don't know about the playoffs. I mean, that's,
really?
We can predict it. We can say no. We could say yes. I don't think Keegan Murray is going to win the rookie of the year. And and it's not even a slight. I think Murray can have a great season. I think he will have a very good season. It's a stat heavy award.
Right.
The 2 best players on the team are better than him. He's going to be the efficient guy. And I think there's going to be nights where we're going to see him with lower number stats than, let's say, a volume guy like Banchero, maybe Jaden Ivey, maybe Jabari Smith, some of the other guys, Chet. I think and maybe even someone we're not even thinking of that just is in a situation like, man, look at this guy just go off in, Shaden Sharp in Portland or whoever it might be. I think Keegan's going to be great. I think there's a really good chance he's on the all-rookie team, maybe first team. But I don't see him getting Rookie of the Year, and I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, and to kind of add context to what you're saying, it is stat heavy. And the reason why the Rookie of the Year is so stat heavy is because majority of the guys in the running for it aren't on playoff teams.
Right.
And the ones that are on playoff teams, to your point, they're more of a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th guy in the rotation.
Lesser role.
Lesser role, which means they don't have the volume or the usage rate to put up the numbers that the other guys are. However, I'll ask you this. It probably doesn't end up happening this way, but let's say it does. Let's say Keegan Murray is the 3rd or 4th best player on the Kings. And, that's subjective to however you want to look at it. But let's just say the Kings are a playoff team and he is subjectively the 3rd or 4th best player. Does that factor into the Rookie of the Year voting at that point?
I
feel like because it's the Kings, it should.
It might. I don't think so now. I think that would bode well for a guy like Mike Brown for Coach of the Year. If the Kings were to make the playoffs. As far as I just feel like that specifically, Jay, the Rookie of the Year is numbers, and someone's going to come in and probably put up a pretty lofty number. But I guess if you look at last year's winner, Scotty Barnes, in kind of a crowded field, kind of snuck through there on the playoff team, but was really good for Toronto, and no one else just jumped out and put up numbers that he couldn't catch. So.
And it goes
Murray's
back
going to be good, though, and he'll be prominent. He'll be in the race.
And it goes back to, again, the numbers. Scotty Barnes on a playoff team was subjectively no worse than the 3rd best player.
Right.
You could make arguments at times he was their best player. I think their best player last year was Fred VanVleet, but you could make the argument Scotty Barnes was the 2nd best player on the Raptors last year. And I feel like if Keegan Murray is the 2nd best player on the Kings this year, it means one of two things. One, he just broke out in a way that nobody saw coming, or 2, one of DeMontis or De'Aaron was hurt for a large portion of the year, and you don't want that.
No. But I like the fact that Mark is confident in Keegan, confident in the Kings, too, as a team to make the postseason. That would obviously be fantastic if that were to happen. Let's get a little more audio here, too. We have some fun with audio, as we said in this segment. We know about Keegan Murray. He is a twin. His brother, Chris Murray, opted to stay at Iowa, has big expectations to kind of have the year that Keegan did last year, and will soon be in the NBA. But he was interviewed yesterday and shared this funny anecdote.
Keegan was mad because, when he walked out with my parents, they had a picture of me up there, and I knew it right away. And there was a whole video of it. And then when he got announced for his pick, it's the same picture of me up there. I guess they just picked the better-looking twin.
Funny,
there's actually a healthy sibling rivalry there. That's the only negative thing I've ever heard Keegan Murray say, and it's in a playful, brotherly way. He's like, I think he was asked at his press conference here, Jay, in Sacramento, when, is it going to be tough? You have a twin brother. He's like, no, I need to get away from him in a playful way. Like, he's going to do his thing. I need to do my thing. But he said it in the Keegan Murray way with a smile and kind of like a wink, almost like, yeah. But, they love each other, and it's they each have to have their own identity here. But I can picture that, though, having the wrong picture of Keegan Murray, showing Chris Murray instead, and that's probably going to happen multiple times.
Oh, yeah, and they probably knew right away, but for the average fan that, didn't know the Murray brothers like that, I'll tell you this, I didn't have the first clue. I put their picture up, I wouldn't know which one's the difference.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, I don't know if that's happened to you, like there's obviously twins that are identical that look like identical, and other times you're like, oh, there's subtle changes I can see. I think for me, we have twins in our family. It's like when you spend enough time, then you get, like, once you get it right, you've got it. But sometimes it takes you a while to get there. Like, wait, which one are you?
Yeah, no, if any sort of twin action, if they are identical, you have to get to know them, because at that point, Jason, don't you more or less start kind of knowing the personalities more? And so when one of them says hi, you can almost tell which one's which based upon how they say hello.
Yeah, it could be a subtle thing, like, hey, they walk slightly different. They go, you can see it? Yeah, I can. I can. By the way, this is a plug, but it was amazing. If any of you get a chance to check out The Run, which is the Sacramento Kings social media team, basically telling the story. I think it's going to be fun to watch all year, the 2022-2023 Kings season. But their first episode came out yesterday, about 13, 14, 15 minutes, and it's worth it. It's a really good, really well done. It's behind the scenes of Mike Brown's hiring and press conference to Keegan Murray's draft. I mean, it's a lot of the stuff, Jay, I think that fans, and I'll speak for myself, eat up. I love those behind the scenes things. And, seeing Keegan Murray come here to Sacramento, his press conference, I love that. And they just did it in such a beautiful job put together. I think it's going to be a fun thing to watch. And a clever title, The Run. Are they onto something? Is that a premonition by the Kings?
The Run might be closer to a jog, but I get what they're trying to do there. Is it a run to the playoffs?
I don't know, but
the play-in?
I was intrigued. So
or
if
run
anybody,
back to the lottery.
I hope not, gets a chance to check it out. It's really good. I think it's worth your time, and it sounds like something they're going to do all year long. And I know people love behind-the-scenes stuff, so very good job by the Sacramento Kings.